He thought the auction date was a joke, until the woman who paid $1 changed his life forever. When Jake Miller read the flyer pinned to the old grocery store wall, he actually laughed. Auction date, bid starts at $1. It was supposed to be a local charity event, where lonely people auctioned off dates to raise money for the town's struggling orphanage. Jake, a single dad and mechanic, hadn't gone on a date in years. Between raising his 7-year-old daughter Lily and trying to keep his garage from going under, romance was the last thing on his mind. But when his best friend dared him to join, he shrugged and said, "Sure, maybe someone will buy me for $2. He didn't realize that joke would change everything. The day of the auction, Jake showed up in his oil-stained jeans and flannel shirt, feeling completely out of place. Men in suits, women in elegant dresses, he was just the broke mechanic from the wrong side of town. People laughed softly when his name was called. Jake Miller, starting bid, $1. The crowd murmured, then went silent when no one raised a hand. He stood there awkwardly, hands in his pockets, forcing a smile as the host asked, "Anyone?" Just as the gavel was about to drop, a calm, confident voice spoke from the back. "I'll bid $1. Heads turned. Standing there was a woman in a simple black dress, her hair pulled into a neat bun, wearing no jewelry, except a silver bracelet that caught the light. Jake's eyes met hers, and for a second, he felt something strange, like she wasn't bidding out of pity. There was a quiet certainty in her gaze. The gavel struck. Sold, for $1. After the event, she approached him. "I'm Emma," she said, smiling. "I hope you don't mind that I bid." Jake chuckled nervously. "I should be paying you for the trouble." She laughed softly. "Then maybe you can pay me with coffee." Their first date was at a small diner by the river. Jake expected awkward small talk, but instead, they talked for hours. She asked about his daughter, his late wife, his dreams. He found himself opening up, something he hadn't done in years. Emma listened with a gentleness that disarmed him. She didn't judge, didn't pity, she understood. Over the next few weeks, Emma started showing up at his garage. Sometimes she'd bring sandwiches, sometimes she'd just sit nearby reading while he worked. Lily adored her instantly. "Daddy," she whispered once, "Miss Emma smells like Mommy used to when she baked cookies." That night, Jake couldn't sleep. There was something about Emma that both warmed and scared him, like he was getting close to something precious again, and he didn't know if he deserved it. One rainy evening, Jake's world came crashing down. A developer announced plans to buy out his garage and the surrounding block to build a shopping center. Jake had no savings, no lawyer, nothing to fight back. He sat in his office, staring at the eviction notice, fists clenched. When Emma walked in and saw him like that, she didn't say anything at first. She just placed her hand on his shoulder. "I'm sorry," he muttered. "You didn't sign up for this mess." She looked at him quietly and said, "Jake, what if I told you I could help?" He frowned. "You've done enough. You paid $1 for me, best deal of your life." She smiled faintly. "Actually, that dollar was the best investment I've ever made." The next day, construction was halted. The developer's purchase had been blocked by a private buyer, an anonymous investor who had purchased the entire property for cash. Jake was stunned. The town buzzed with rumors. Who would do such a thing? When he confronted Emma, she hesitated, then handed him an envelope. Inside was a property deed, with his name on it. "I don't understand," he whispered. "You don't have to," she said softly. "Just promise me you'll keep fixing cars, helping people, and raising that amazing little girl of yours." He looked up at her, his heart pounding. "Emma, who are you?" For a moment, she looked almost shy. Then she said, "My family owns Harrington Industries. I'm Emma Harrington." Jake froze. Everyone knew that name. Billionaire philanthropist, media mogul, one of the richest women in the state. He just stared at her, speechless. "I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to see me differently," she continued. "When I saw you at that auction, you reminded me of someone, my father. He was a mechanic before he built his company. He used to say, the people who fix engines also fix lives, one honest turn of a wrench at a time. You had that same look in your eyes." Jake couldn't find the words. For the first time in years, tears blurred his vision. "Why me?" "Because you never stopped trying," she said. "Even when no one bid, you stood tall. You didn't quit." And that's something money can't buy. Months passed. The garage thrived again, upgraded and modernized, with Emma's quiet support. But more than that, Jake and Emma grew closer. She became a part of their small family, joining Sunday breakfasts and movie nights. Lily once asked her innocently, "Are you my new mom?" Emma's eyes welled up, and Jake's heart nearly broke from the warmth of that moment. One afternoon, Jake found the same auction flyer pinned to his garage wall. Someone, Emma, of course, had written in small letters, "Sometimes the smallest bid buys the biggest heart." He smiled, tucking it into his pocket. At their wedding months later, the guests laughed when Jake raised a framed $1 bill during his speech. "This," he said, holding it up, "is the best deal I ever got. $1 that gave me a partner, a future, and a family." The crowd cheered, but Emma just smiled through tears, whispering, "Worth every cent." The story of Jake and Emma became a quiet legend in their town, a reminder that value isn't measured in money, but in heart, courage, and second chances. So if you're still watching, remember, sometimes life's greatest miracles come disguised as a joke, a mistake, or even a $1 bid. Don't lose faith in small beginnings, because you never know who might be waiting to see the real you.